Get modifier keys, user index is repeat, the key event is controller button 3 is repeat is false. So we go down our list of stupid crap and we're going to get to our input manager. Input manager event type is IE pressed. Okay, so there are pressed events, but they're not always reliable or something like that. Anyways, let's see if this works with the repeat off. He's not jumping. Why is he jumping? We're not even getting the released on there. We're just getting repeats. Yeah, we're not getting... Yeah, we got press, repeat, 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 and then nothing. This shit just broken. Just the raw input plugin, just a complete pile of crap. Alright, well, it's obviously not sending us input all the time, so it might be this device entry needs update is just wrong on here. So let's just turn it off and see what happens. Because it's just not sending us events. That's what's happening. Is it's not telling us when the button is no longer pressed or is pressed. Eating a croissant, typing with one hand. Are you like just like getting crumbs into the keyboard? Just because I had one friend in college who like had absolutely no control over like how his mouth moved when he ate. So he'd be like trying to eat something, and you know, like over at my place, and every time I would just like have to go get him a plate because I'm just like, dude, stick this under your face, Jesus Christ. Crumbs everywhere. No plate? It's still not firing. It's still not firing. Alright, So button data, if device button name is none, if the button state okay, so if the button states are not equal, then if there is a button state, otherwise we are going to we're just going to say button was released, and we're going to say button state previous data is yeah, we're just gonna do this crap until I mean something's obviously clearing it out or something like that, or we've got conflicting devices that are overriding the same inputs, or it's reading two buttons as the same goddamn button. I don't know. I don't like going and editing core code here. Since I had plugins experimental, I guess it's experimental, so that means that's their sticker for Unreal Engine doesn't care about minority controllers. So we'll see if we can at least get this thing to start reporting the right stuff. There it goes. Yeah. Alright. Bam, 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 bam. It's, of course, spamming the hell out of our systems with every goddamn button to do it, but that was exactly what was actually happening. So, okay. We'll just do the... Let's see if the device needs update is actually correct, because it's kind of like, if the device needs an update, that means something has changed, right? So I guess they're just... Where's the previous button state getting set? Parse input data. I mean, it's only getting set inside of here. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Just like how the Bracken Sack Discord has like one of the last messages in it from yesterday is EG just like, come at me, bro. I'm in Virginia. I'm waiting for you. It's like nobody wants to join him. It's good now that we fixed the performance issues with the game. Everybody's pissed off about stun logging. It's like, alright, it's good. That's what people should be pissed about. Did I click on something wrong here? What have I done? I can't click into the fucking window anymore? This isn't fucking... whatever. It's like back when learning 3ds Max, like, or something else. You press a button and everything goes straight to hell. Just like, fuck it. I'll just reinstall 3ds Max. I don't know what I just pressed. I'm lost. There are a lot of yeah. That's kind of I'm not too happy with Discord in terms of how it notifies you about stuff. It's kind of not very good at what it does, in my opinion. For the notifications, at least. Oh man, let's go in every frame. Alright, so let's see if we can actually fix the raw input stuff here. So previous button state. So if the button state does not equal the previous button state, otherwise we're going to do a repeat. Okay, that's supposed to work. So it's a uint 8. This is a uint 8. So if the button state is good, otherwise we set it. Okay, that's fine. State not changed, throw a repeat on there. I mean, but we're saying button pressed. So is it that what we should actually be doing here is sending a released repeat is what we should be doing. So it's like, because this is button pressed and this is released, we should be checking if previous button state right here, and then doing an else there with the repeater going on, something like that. So uncontroller button released, true, with a repeat. Alright, we'll see if that fixes it. And it's just a simple thing here where they just had it wrong. But this is going to have like a repeat every frame anyway. Well, it's not a big deal. It's 20 fucking buttons. That's hard to find. Yeah. I don't know. I find Slack does a lot better job than Discord for a lot of the like important messages for like work and all that crap. Discord, I don't know. We use it because Adam likes it. That's about it. I'd be using Slack otherwise. I mean, it's pretty standard. Anything I don't like, I just blame on other people. Helps with the self-esteem. I'd definitely recommend it. Yeah, so it's throwing all these released messages now. Yeah, it's still not working very well. Like, that's just... I mean, the released is working fine now, but I guess I have to use that repeat in there. Alright, well, we're gonna try it without that horrifying log spam. And we'll see how it goes. Yeah, Slack is... yeah. That's one of the good things about it. It's just... it's hooked up to everything. We even have IRC bots from back in the day that are still running using Slack. Because, you know, you could just bridge input over and stuff like that. Well, the other thing is you can't really mute the notifications to certain levels. Like, maybe you want a little beep, or you want something else, but you don't want, like, the Windows notification toast to appear. Which is why you'll see, like, people putting their webcam videos of themselves over the bottom right of their screen, so none of those toasts show up on stream. Not that I would ever do that. Yeah, those Windows notifications are just fucking annoying. It's like, oh, hey, you know, here's this thing. You'd be like, go away. Why? Why do you exist? I should probably just figure out if I can disable those entirely and never worry about it again. Alright, so I'm happy with that. That's working. So let's see what other buttons actually work here. Alright, so if we go to punch, can we map that to joy 2, kick to Y? Actually, no, we want that on X, pop up on Y, celebrate on... Okay, we can't map our... Wait, what the fuck? We can... What? Okay. Okay, that did work. It's just a little bit odd. Okay, so can we do movement? No. Oh god, okay. The start and select at least work. Okay, so let's apply. So these buttons work. Okay, but now the other ones don't work, and start and select don't work, and who gives a shit about start and select though? That's not a big deal. Alright, so we need to get the axis shit working for this. So the question is, how should I do that? Now let's figure out what the axis stuff even is. You can get rid of them? Yeah. I think my biggest issue with Windows 10 was when they changed the... When you open Windows Explorer, instead of opening like to the normal, like this PC screen, it opens up to like your most recent files. I'm just like, that's real dumb. Like, I mean, I understand maybe at Microsoft, everybody's in a corporate environment, so there's nothing like colorful in your recently accessed files, but any regular person, just like, no. Please God, don't open up my taxes. I don't need those plastered over the wall. Or like if you're on stream and you open that up and it's like, yeah, there's... I don't have, you know, thousands of ripped CDs. Alright, so our axis values are what we need to take a look at here. So let's see. Let's start by printing out those axis values and see what the hell they even are. And we'll see what we can do with that. Because what I might want to do is I might want to simulate that axis value stuff into not actually an axis, depending upon if these controllers actually can do that. Because I'd rather just be like, you got up, down, left, and right, and that's good enough, rather than like have controllers that half support it and do like stupid ass shit. So we'll see if it works. How long since you've been playing Pharaoh? Those were your golden days? The halcyon days of yore, yes. The days where GOG hosted me for playing some dumbass old Pharaoh game. I never finished it. Like, I totally went to, like, I think some of the last levels, and I was just like, you know what, fuck this game. I'm done. It's the same shit all over again. I think it's at those last, kind of those campaign expansion levels are all, it's all the same fucking map. So, real annoying. Also, hello Lucas. Welcome back. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get back into streaming more often. What the fuck? I'm printing it out as an F? Oh, that's because I'm an idiot and didn't put an F in there. Percent, that is. Yeah, well, I haven't played Dark Souls 1, so I mean, it's a possibility that I actually boot up Dark Souls at some point. But in classic streamer style, I'm going to boot it up when you're not on Sinocron, and then when you log in, I'll switch to something else. I haven't played any of the expansions for Dark Souls 2 or Dark Souls 3, so it might be worth doing like a run through all of them. I'm just using OBS, Lucas, but I haven't even updated anything. Dashkin, it's like Dark Souls, but it's not Dark Souls at all. We could put like a "You Died" screen on there, and then we could have, you know, like pay $5 for the "Thanks Obama" screen instead. All right, so let's take a look at this. Okay, so what the fuck? Okay, so it looks like axis 2 is left and right, and it goes from 0 to 0.5 to 1. So that's amazing. And then we got axis 1, which goes from 1 at the bottom to 0 at the top. And then we got axis 6, which I don't even know what the hell that... Okay, yeah, this is weirdly screwed up. So, axis 2, 3, 4, and 5 are all the same axis, and that is left and right. And up and down are axis 1. Alright, I think I'm just going to support one custom axis then. Like, axis 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are just going to be trash because they obviously don't work. They raised $200K for suicide prevention. Man. That's pretty good. Alright, I'm just thinking. I think I have to map these to 8 buttons. These two axes I'll just map to 8 buttons instead. Or something like that. You have a charity guy who's on commission? What? That seems pretty screwed up. Alright, so axis 1, and we got axis 2, and we want to map those axes to buttons. How do we do this? I'm on commission. Help me out. Yeah. Shit. Just trying to think about the best way to do this. Alright, so we get called in here, we have on key down, we have on key up, and all this crap. And inside of our viewport client, our input manager get access, or input access. I mean, it's just gonna go through here. Well, I basically want to, when I get this input axis, I want to pass it as an input key of a specific type based on the axis, and that would just kind of solve a whole bunch of this stuff. But I'd have to define some new keys for it, and those keys would have to be available to everything. And then we could just ignore the axis. Yeah, that's not true, Visual Studio. That thing exists. So it's really what I want to do is something like this, where oh, thank you for hosting, Adam. That's always helpful. Guess he's not on at the moment. I saw he was up and playing Brackensack earlier. Alright, so what I want is axis 1. I guess I'll just do up and down, and then up and down for axis 2 as well. And I'll just map those out, and we'll just ignore some of these other things. Oh man, Lucas bringing all the all the fans, we're going to be the biggest thing on Twitch that's all about hacking controller input into your Unreal 4 project in a very unhelpful way. It's like, do you want to do controller input? Well, here's how to do it really horribly. Follow my example, and you too can dig a hole that will drown you. Alright, so we got up, down. That should be enough. Because those are separate keys, this will work. We'll be able to fire the repeaters as well. Alright, let me just write down what I need to do here. So I need to pass an up, down, repeat. Nah, we don't care about repeat. Up, down, and for each button, we're going to need to add this key to all the things. I'm not sure exactly like if this will work for most people, but I don't know. If somebody can just like report in the forums that, hey, this controller doesn't work, and then I gotta just go buy it on Amazon and figure it the hell out. And that'll probably be good enough for me. So what we want to do is we want to reserve kind of, like all this stuff works on this, so we want system, utils, H, and all that to, we're basically going to chop these things off here. So we don't have those system keyboard codes for those axes anymore. So we'll undo some of this work that we did earlier. But if this plugin is going to be unreliable and everything like that, then I'm just going to go with what works and not try to do anything too fancy because it's just not worth it. Shit, widgets get a special tick function? What? I don't know what you're talking about. A third plugin? I still don't know what you're talking about. Alright, we got the input set up, we got that set up, we need to set up the CF browser widget crap. Yeah, the raw input plugin is the experimental plugin from Unreal that allows you to do these sorts of things. It allows you to read things that aren't through X input. Alright, so up, down, that looks proper. Now inside of our viewport, it's going to be input axis. Okay. So on axis, we're not going to worry about that because that's not going to do anything. So we're going to say like if the alright, so if key equals this, alright, so we're going to say we need the input event event type. So if let's see, delta we need some input stuff here for some dead zones. Alright. It's already with controls. So static const float g axis min down. Says min up. So we'll just have like a 0.01 dead zone. Alright, take these things out of here and get them defined. Well, Visual Studio does a very poor job of window management. Like it's like a window tab you were just using, it'll hide it immediately once you focus something else. It'd be like, well, maybe that was important. Alright, so what we want to do is so with the up status and the down status, so with both of these it's going to be whatever released is. Alright, event type is going to be down status for that one. Amount depressed will be delta. This gamepad will be true. Alright, so up status is going to be released. It's going to be down status, that's going to be IE pressed. And we'll copy paste this because we have no shame. So this will probably work for every controller that has at least one axis. It'll allow you to use your primary axis to play the game. So your secondary axis is not going to work. Like if you got two thumbsticks, the second one's not going to work. But if it's got two axes, it's probably a joystick with two, like a thumb thing and then like a main thing. And whatever. Otherwise, if it's got like two thumbsticks and it's like a PlayStation controller, it should probably work with X input anyway, so it's not going to matter. This thing done vomiting in the output window yet? Let's see where else this thing's referenced so I can make sure to add it. Okay, run input.cpp. We need to edit you. Alright, we don't need any of those managed. Alright, so these are key names, and then we need to add these to the actual keys themselves. And then we've got all these things here. Oh yeah, let's not forget this whole thing with key up, because that's going to be a bit of a problem. So up or down first? Up first. Alright. Well, if this works out properly, we might be able to actually use our controller now. I guess the next thing would be to work on getting the mouse keys to work. And I'll see what I can do. Like I've got what, 1, 2, 3, 4, I guess 5 different mouse keys. You know, we got left and right click, we got middle mouse, wheel in. We could use middle mouse wheel up and down. Alright, yeah, this needs to include the function library. So it would be nice to have at least 4 on here, so like you could use the WASD to move, and then maybe you can use the mouse with like all 3 of your fingers, and then like a 4th thing, and you could. I don't know. I don't know why you'd ever do that, but I'm sure there's somebody who wants it. Let them map it themselves. Yeah, there's plenty of programs for people really have custom control schemes. I mean, I could see somebody throwing punch on left click and pop up on right click and doing other stuff, but I see somebody who's like really into it at that point just getting a controller. Alright, so now we got linker errors with our names. Alright, if the key equals that, alright, so that's what we're getting rid of here. That's wrong. Okay, so that should fix that, and then our linker errors are going to be because we didn't define our names for this thing. Alright, let's file that. No people too cheap to buy controllers even when they're serious gamers? It happens. Well, if they're too cheap to buy controllers, they're too cheap to be customers. So fuck them. That's right, I said customers are slime. We don't care about them. It's like already dark out. Nah, it's pretty funny. Like the gaming community has some of the best customers, and it's also got some of the worst customers on the face of the planet. Like, you know, they got like really awesome people, like the people that we got in Adam's fan base who are there to play the game and are really helpful and, you know, take all this time to make animated GIFs of reproductions of bugs, you know, stuff that they really don't, like, you don't get that from QA people who are paid to do it. And then on the other hand, you got people who send death threats to your designers if you change the reload time on the fucking sniper rifle in Call of Duty. You know, like, it's kind of insane. Okay, so our key states are, the key is this guy. What was our key states based off of? For every key in keys, iterate over keys, add them to the map. Okay, so we need to also, for E keys, get all keys. Well, that should get every key, right? I mean, theoretically it's supposed to. This wasn't on axis, this was on key. Alright, so we're not adding the keys that we should be adding to the key list. There's got to be some sort of, yeah, here we go. Here's add key. Why did they make all these names if they don't use them? There must be a reason, right? There's probably no reason, and it's probably a bug. And it's, I mean, it has a lot to do with, having bad customers and having good customers. It has to do with a lot of games are super cheap compared to like everything else. Like the price of a movie ticket is $20, right? And the price of a game at full price is like, 60, 70, and then if you have like ridiculous DLC, 100 or more. And then like what's the price for lunch at, random place? Like shitty lunch is going to be, $5 or $6. A, super pro lunch is going to be somewhere between 10 and $15. And then like you go out to dinner, like if you go out to the bar one night, you're looking at $10 a drink in some places or more. And it's like people get their panties in a twist over such a small amount of money they actually pay for the real game compared to somebody pouring a drink or making a sandwich and slapping some cheese on top of some frozen beef. $5 or $6 lunch would be great. Low Series 9. Yeah, well, that's why I live in Spokane, where everything's $1 cheaper. Alright, so let's go to these controls. Go to movement. Alright, I am unable to do anything with this. Alright, so the key is the generic USB controller 1 axis. Its status is released and crap. Delta is 0.498. So our down status is released and our up status is released. So we are released. So if we go to input key, key is generic axis 1 up. Let's get over here to our WebKit window. Yeah, key up. It's getting over here. The key is, of course, it's not going to tell me what the fucking key event was. USB controller button 20. Okay. Key is USB controller button 20. Is that true? Alright, this key down was generic USB controller button 20. Alright, we gotta have some screwed up here with generic USB controller button 20 being used when we shouldn't be. Of course it hit my fucking window again. Great. Thanks. Yeah, I really don't like it when it starts lying to me so much about everything. So we got the generic keys, got the controller ID, we go to input key, just gonna do all these things, get the pointer events,